Welcome back, awesome Action Toy fans and subscribers. We are Thursday, the 4th of April 2024. It is a public holiday here in China. Tomb Sweeping Festival. Not have any tombs to sweep, but never mind. And tomorrow is a public holiday, but also we have to work on Sunday. Boo! Anyway, I am reviewing the next lot of army builders. This is lot number 3, I believe, and lot number 4 was just recently shown. So they are already churning these out sort of in about 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. Normally after they've shown them, they get released, which is great because these are budget figures, as in they are molds and tooling they've used previously, mix parts from other figures and create new figures. So it's great if you want to sort of customize and get parts, or even you just like the figures. Okay, this is numbers 16 to 24. Originally they sent me 2 24s, not a 23, but now I've got my 23 here as well. So let's get a look at the figures. So number 16, this suited assassin. It's got like a knife, pistol, sword and a gun. I don't like that gun because they're going to struggle to hold that unless you cut that bar off. But the neck looks better than the previous one had this sort of suit and neck. So that's pretty cool. And always nice to have suited figures. Number 17. I want to double check the back. 17. Okay. Another suited. Basically it's the same figure, but different weapons, but different colour. Again, nice to have another suited figure. What a square head he has got. Anyway, we go on to number 18, and this is using a lot of the Cult of San Raja, or Cult of San Raja head, which is great with some of the military stuff and sort of a cyborg arm there. He looks good. I quite like that sort of combination. Very post-apocalyptic. Then we have number 19, who I really like. He's looking like a sort of a Dr. Mindbender from G.I.Joe. Very cool sort of looking. He's got that little sort of hat there as well, helmet there. The bearskin go over. He's got the pistol, the shotgun. Very nice. And they all appear to have, most I should say, have 2 pairs of pair of hands additional. This is number, was it 20? Yeah, number 20. So the number is on the back there. He's got 3 hands additional. He's got that helmet, which maybe not so keen on, but does look good. So the helmet's actually a head, but looks pretty cool. Then we have 21, the first of the women from the army builders. Looks pretty good. I have to say though, the woman they showed in the next round of army builders looks fantastic, like that. 22, another woman, a bit more sci-fi of that helmet. Looks good. Only 1 spare hand. I should say that the previous one, 21, has 2 pairs of hands. Still looks pretty nice. 23, the one they forgot to send me but sent me now. Obviously it's Regio, the original sort of a body. He's got the big chunky silver legs too. It looks a bit okay, I guess. This is a helmet, not a head. Great big sword, 3 hands, another sort of staff spiky thing. Sword, which, gun I'm not so keen on because it's joined at the bottom. Pistol, knife, but that is nice. And then the one they sent me 2 of, 24. Look at the size of that brute of a sword. That is evil. A sword, that same sort of staffy thingy, pair of hands, helmet, knife, pistol, gun again. You guys want to go for sort of your space customs. Some of these figures are going to be fantastic. Okay, I'm going to unbox and set them up. I'll be back in an instant for you guys. Please stay tuned. And here all 9 of them are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 set up. I've not taken everything out, not all the accessories. So some I left a cup, maybe, you know, a knife or a gun or the hands in, whatever. But that's most of the stuff they come with, just to give you an idea what they look like. And they look fantastic. So let's get a bit of a closer look. But before that, consider joining the Patreon. Link in the top right of your screen now. You get to see everything before it's published on YouTube. Exclusive content from time to time. And also we do have prize draws from time to time as well, including one this month, April 2024. Okay, left to right. Let's look at number 16. We've seen this suit before and his head before. We've seen the gun and the sword before. The sword is fantastic. Let's give a bit more light on it. There we go. Head, better fit than last time in the army builder, so that's pretty good. The gun I'm not keen on because of that bar. If you cut that little bar there off, it'll hold it much nicer. If you look at the angle there, you see it's not very straight. Sword is great, it holds it well, but it's a trigger thing. I didn't change the hands around. Again, they've got this sort of a not quite straight. At least his hips are looser. I can straighten them out to get it right. But he is great looking. Always love a nice suited figure. Next one is basically the same. Head is very square, too square there. Not a nice fit, but it's nice to have that sort of variation. Different gun he's got, and again, it's got a bar, so he can't hold it particularly well. Cut that bar off, maybe that little part there, those two little parts there. Hold that quite nicely. He has the same sword, so it wasn't worth getting that out. Next is our sort of a Colt Raja head, which I love, and a sort of a cybernetic arm, and also on a sort of contemporary body. Seen that machine gun before, seen the assault rifle before. And the pistol will go there. Next, I'm not sure if he's my favourite, but I think he's fantastic. So we've got this one here. I'll take off the little bearskin hat. Looks great, the shotgun. Holds it well, the coat's fantastic. There's a little holster in there for his pistol, which I didn't take out. But he also comes with a World War II helmet, which is sort of a, I don't know, kind of like a weird look for him. It just doesn't really go down far enough on his head. But it's another look, so it is pretty cool. Get some variety, nice to get another accessory. I think it looks better with the bearskin though. Depends, you want to go for a bit more, I mean, both is sci-fi, or, you know, but I guess this one's maybe a touch more sci-fi, and this one's maybe a touch more post-apocalyptic, who knows. Okay, let's put that one back. Next, very contemporary except for the shoulder pads and the that metallic green helmet, but pretty cool. See, I'm not painting the studs around that, but you could do. Nice looking figure in a sort of a semi-standing walking pose. First of the women in our army builders, and she is a winner. Not sure about the white boots though. Holds both guns well. Paint slipped a bit on the bottom of the sunglasses. It's pink like her flesh instead of black, but she does look good. Now, she got the little holster for the pistol there. Nice looking. And then woman number 2 out of our army builders to date. Very contemporary, just change the head over and maybe the forearm there. And you've got almost a contemporary looking figure, but she's great. Very nice. And the last two, these sort of chunky leg boys, the same legs, the sci-fi look. So the first one here, I don't like that sword. It's so hard to hold with having this bar. They can't hold it straight. Kind of backwards, but not really straight. I could put the bar on the inside, I guess, of his thumb. Yeah, maybe a bit better. I don't like that gun. I'd cut that bar off. For me, it's like a bit, yeah. And I love sci-fi, but that just doesn't do it for me. And then he's got a little sheath for his little knife there, holster for his pistol. And he had, what do I do with it? Here it is. Also has this helmet here, this sort of golden helmet, which will squeeze over his head. I think I would prefer that in silver. A couple of it's got some inking on those little recesses on this side and there, but not really on that side. Only problem is you don't want to pop his head off inside the helmet, because then it's going to be like a bit more difficult to get it out. Okay. And then we go to our last one, who I've put the helmet on already. He also comes with this, which the other guy that I just saw comes with too, this sort of double-ended, not quite straight staff bladed thingy. It's quite nice. That evil, evil sword. That gun is nice, and he does have a pistol too. And here's the arm which you can take off. I'd be tempted to put that armor on the other one, except you're not going to see his sort of cybernetic chest and whatnot, but very nice looking. And then if I pop his helmet off, which is not too tight, not too loose, you get a look at the head, which you've seen before. Some very, very nice looking figures. Now, articulation, I'm going to show a few. First two, I'll show one because they're the same. And then I will look at maybe one, two. This is going to take a bit of a while. I'll do articulation on maybe most of them. These two almost the same, but I'll do it quite fast just to save you guys a bit of time. So let's begin with our suited guys. Use him so we have to take one thing out his hands. So he can look left and right, forwards, backwards, side to side very nicely. All the way around sideways on the suits, getting slightly over 90 degrees. Bicep benders over 90 is great, and the hands we know we can turn, line up the joint, and you can move it whichever way that joint is aligned. Trunk, but he's got this suit jacket which is going to really impede his trunk, but his waist is good. So the trunk is not that important in comparison, I guess. He would do almost a full splits if it was for the jacket, which is great. Forwards is good, backwards is not bad. We've got the thigh turn, we've got double kneecap, and then the feet should have a boot turn, which is great, a boot shoe swivel, which is very tiny. He's got a small tippy toe, a small dorsiflexation, and he's got a small toe articulation. But the toe articulation is too loose really to support his weight. But that is decent articulation, I have to say. Our Cult of San Raja guy. So head will have really good, it should be, because it's got lots of space inside there, all directions. Shoulders all the way around on both of them, even this sort of a cybernetic robotic one. Take that gun out. The lateral raise is going to be an issue because of the armor pieces will probably get in the way. Well, not so much on that one, but this one definitely. So he's going to struggle to get much more than that unless you get the armor to go underneath or you take the armor off. Bicep bend robot arm is 90. The fleshy arm again is 90. Trunk is sort of hidden inside here, but here's a waist and trunk. Ooh, he just popped off. His waist and trunk is okay, so it kind of makes up for that. Same hand articulation we've seen before. Sculpting and things getting away on the legs there. Forwards is pretty good, to be fair. Backwards is like almost non-existent on both legs, which is a real pity. This one's a bit stiff, so it's not moving. Thigh. That's the thigh cut. Okay, he has got a thigh cut, but it's hidden behind the straps and is a bit stuck. Double kneecap, very, very tight. He doesn't have the boot turn, but he does have the swivel. Has decent tippy toe, has to be said. Dorsiflexation is a bit small, and he has the toe articulation, which is going to be a bit, there we go, a bit stiff as well. But it's good enough. Possibly my favourite of the bunch. So, head is great on the left, right, up, down, side to side. Shoulders go over 90, which is nice. Biceps are over 90, which is nice. Hands, you know what they do already. He's got a trunk he can turn forwards, backwards, side to side. The waist he can turn forwards, backwards, side to side. Hips, almost a full split, which is great. Forwards is not quite flat, but is okay. Backwards is small, but still okay. Thigh twist, double kneecap, nice and tight. Does he have the boot turn? No boot turn. No, that made him almost perfect. Does have a swivel. He does have a small tippy toe, not bad. Tiny dorsiflexation, which is not great, and he does have the toe articulation, which you can see there, but it's normally painted shut. Best articulation out of the bunch thus far. Next, and that just pops off straight away. Having that sort of neck and that plastic scarf is going to really limit his movement on this bulky head. But he can go left and right, sort of up and down, and not really side to side. All the way around. Lateral raise, the shoulder pads are going to get in the way. You could remove them a bit more. Bicep is just over 90. Hands, you know what they do already. Trunk can be tough in this jacket, but there's some movement in there. But with the waist, forwards, backwards, side to side turn is great. Hips are great on the forwards. Equally good on the side, sorry. Equally good on the forwards there. Backwards not so much. Thigh twist, double kneecap, and he doesn't have the boot turn, but he does have the swivel. Has the good tippy toe, has to be said. Has, let me have a look. Not really a dorsiflexation as such, not enough. And we know he has toe articulation. Lady One. Expecting good things judging by that, but I'm not sure if the vest will impede the trunk too much. Head is fantastic on the left and the right, on the up and the down, side to side. Neck is probably a bit too thin and long, but never mind. Shoulders all the way around. Be a bit more gentle on ladies. Their joints are thinner and weaker. Flat on the... Round as a bicep. Okay, flat on the lateral raise. Bicep is well over the 90, which is fantastic. Hands, we know what they do already. Trunk is sort of hidden inside, but waist and trunk, forwards, backwards. Backwards is pretty good, have to be said. Side to side and can turn, so it's pretty cool. Hips not as far as I'd like, especially on that one because that gets in the way, but it's not bad. Forwards is usually looser leg. Yeah, that's great. That is a 90, possibly slightly over 90 degrees. Backwards is tiny, but it's okay. Thigh twist, double kneecap. There's no boot turn that I can see, but she gets a good tippy toe. She gets a decent dorsiflexation. She gets the swivel in and out, and we see she's got toe articulation as well. Again, that's going to be really stiff the first time, but it is there. Let's get the sound a bit nicer. Number, is it 22? No, it's not standing up. Number 22. Left, right, up, down, side to side. Shoulders all the way around. Sorry, that one's just gone off there. Over 9 flat on the arm. About 90 or almost 90 dead on the bicep. Wrist, we know they do it already. Trunk, forwards to side turn. Turn, side to side, forwards, backwards. Without popping. Can she sit flat? She can sit almost with the legs. There you go. Flat. Very, very cool. Backwards. Very good. Sideways and sideways. Yeah, fantastic articulation on the trunk and waist. Hips. I would like a bit further, but it's okay. Feels a bit loose in the hips there, so be careful. Forwards, it goes out to the side, which is not great, but it's a good angle. Backwards is small. Thigh twist. Double kneecap, again nice and tight. No boot turn. Decent tippy toe has to be said. Decent dorsiflexation. There's the swivel in and out. And there's toe articulation too. Onto our chunky thigh boys. Left and right, up and down, side to side, all the way around. Sideways is over 90 just about. Bicep bend is 90. He's got the trunk, so he's got a forwards, backwards, side to side and small turn. He's got waist, forwards, backwards, side to side and turn, and together. Not as good as the woman's, but he's approaching a decent sitting position. Backwards is pretty good. And then sideways is awesome. Hands, we know they do it already. Legs, sculpt gets in the way because they're so chunky, but it's okay. Forwards is not great, but it's chunky again. There is a thigh twist. Double kneecap. Look how tight that is for a double kneecap with that chunk. It's awesome. And then no boot turn, unfortunately, but he does have the swivel sideways. Does have a tippy toe. Not so much a dorsiflexation, and there is toe articulation. You can see the joint there, but it might be too. There we go. Just if I can move that like that. And then the last one, I won't show his legs because it's the same as this one. Number 24. But we can look at his upper body and his head. So the helmet on, left, right, up, down, side to side, fantastic. Shoulders all the way around. You can move these shoulder pads, I think. Otherwise, you're going to try and get them underneath, maybe, or on top of the armour. On top, you're getting further, you can see, slightly further on this one. I put it on top, not under. So 90 or just over 90 thereabouts. Bicep bend is, again, about 90 degrees. You know what the wrists do. Trunk is hidden, but trunk and waist together is good, and we know what the legs do already. What a great release. This has got something for everyone. Obviously, you don't have to buy all of them. You can just buy the ones you like. But I think, and they call them army builders for a good reason. Number one, I told them to call them army builders. Yes, you can thank me that they're called army builders. What should we call these? Army builders. Thank you, because that's what they are. Number two, so yeah, they're great army builders. You can pick the 1 or 2 or 3 you want, just buy them and chop and change, get matching figures and whatnot. And the variety is great. You've got contemporary, fantasy, well, not really so much fantasy, but you could have coming on fantasy, but contemporary and sci-fi there. Great bunch of figures. I can't wait for the next lot to come out. I am really enjoying these army builders where they mix and match parts to make new figures and give us ideas of things that we can do and customize. Right, anyway, let's go for size. I was babbling on. So the tallest is our guy here with the helmet, and he is about 4.5, about 11 cm approximately. Shortest, it's hard to say, might be him. He is, yeah, so short is about 10. They're going to scale perfectly well with the other figures that we've see and love. So here's my Nuno Sentinel, who's probably a bit more of a match for the guy with the green helmet, but I'll stick him in, or maybe these guys, I'll stick him in there. Acid Rain World. And you can see size-wise, fantastic match as you would expect. If I use a, where is it? Fresh Retro, one of their little robots here, who just decided to fall apart in my hand because I didn't push his waist in properly last time I put them together. Can't do that now. Quickly, let me see. Okay, waist, no. Waist is in. Got to put the back part of his pelvis on to keep the waist in place. The problem is there's a joint, and that joint, as you move it to lock into place, it moves, which makes the locking into place harder than it should be. You know what, let me just quickly pause this and I'll be back in a second. So the Fresh Retro one here, which these are fantastic figures, the Fresh Retro ones. They're touched on the smaller side, but you've got the other ones, the chunky ones, this which are bigger, but again scale very, very well. And let's use my Fortnite custom aim because it's a Fortnite figure and they are readily available to see how they scale. Again, he's scaling very well again. A great bunch of figures. I think this is another great release. Can't wait for the next Army Builders. I hope this becomes a regular bi-monthly, well, a bit expensive, but you know, 3 monthly, 4 monthly, whatever, twice yearly, 3 times, 4 times yearly thing, because I think they're just great. Okay, so all Smash Toys selling out, so please like, share, subscribe, check out the Patreon if you've not done so already, and also there are discount codes in for different sellers, shops, recommended sellers in the video description, so check that out too. I see you next video soon. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye bye. In the video description, so check that out too. I see you next video soon. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye bye.